What's up, guys?
We're back.
Dave and Joe Happy Hour podcast number 3. And we want to thank you so very much for all the views.
Thank you.
And support on the first podcast. I believe it got over 2,300 views, so we really appreciate that. And we have some exciting things to talk about in this show today. And I'm Dave, and Joe's right here. So
I'm right here.
We have we want to properly introduce ourselves. So I'm Dave. I run the site nintendogen.com, and actually this year is the 10-year anniversary of the site. So
congratulations, David.
Yeah, and basically I've been fortunate enough to have some exclusives over the years. With the site. I've talked to Mark Rain from Epic Games back in what was it, 2006. There was some controversy with the Wii about if it could run Unreal Engine 3, and he had said that he's like, sure, give me a dev kit, I'll see if we can run it or not. He wasn't he didn't hate Nintendo at all. But so anyway, I got to talk to him and various contacts in the industry. I've had some of my stories posted on IGN actually in the past as well, so I've had some success with that, and I do occasionally get some insider information. So that's a little bit about my gaming background. I've been a Nintendo fan since 1985. I had all of the systems, and basically I'm one of you guys. You guys are listening. I support Nintendo. 35 years old. I've been around since the beginning. So that's a little bit about me. And with Joe, he has some background in the gaming industry too.
Yeah. So I mean, a little bit about our format, because we did get some comments and questions about us not understanding what we're doing, and to explain it simply, where Drink Street connects with Gameland.
Yeah.
We think that all games are enhanced by delicious alcohols and adult-style beverages, which is why we have Dave and Joe Happy Hour.
I think we're the only podcast that drinks while we do quote-unquote intelligent talk. It's a challenge to do that, so we challenge ourselves.
We for years have been playing video games and combining drinking and video games in what I would like to think is a responsible manner. For years, and decided to, people thought it was so funny that we decided to bring it out to a larger fan base like you guys, and we're getting great response from that. So to kind of introduce, me and Dave's relationship, we've been friends since elementary school.
Yeah. And
I've been playing games for that long, and have just loved all games, regardless of who makes them. We just like good games, and we are game fans. And then as, things developed, we were lucky enough to be in the industry of gaming, or close enough to it, because we followed our passion. And what I do professionally, I've worked with Sony Entertainment, Microsoft, and several other software development companies, doing audio, visual, and production support. Whether it's recording things for a new video game or recording things for their corporate meetings. That's kind of what I do. I'm a sound engineer, and also have a degree in computer science. So that's kind of where I come from.
And you have a band, right?
I have a band.
Couple bands?
Yeah, I have a couple bands, and so I'm a musician. We're out of San Diego.
Yeah.
And that's why I worked for Sony Entertainment in the first place, is that their corporate offices for Sony of America is actually here in San Diego.
So Joe has some contacts in the industry. I believe he even knows the guy who does the voice for Duke Nukem. What's his name again?
John St. John is his handle. And he's a local San Diego guy, and he's also the voice for Channel 6. I've done several voiceover work for local television stations. In fact, some people out there may have heard my voice on television, because I pick up for him when he can't do the job.
Well, that's awesome.
So, I mean, it's that kind of stuff. I basically, I do so much in production, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically a voice talent.
Yeah.
In that aspect, and done a lot of voiceover for Sony in the past.
Yeah. So, excellent. So that's a little bit about us. So we do have occasionally, we do get some insider information sometimes that we can share with you guys. Just FYI.
Well, it's just, and honestly, it's good research. Dave and me do really good research. We really care. This isn't about making money or having a bias or picking a product or being this fanboy or that fanboy We just pick what we think's the best.
Yeah.
And nobody's paying us or telling us to do it.
Nope.
We are 100% us all the time. What we think is what we think. They are opinions, and you can take them or leave them as you will. We just like to share what we found out being so excited about video games.
Yeah.
And also, doing the research and being, freelance journalists, if you will, for the things that we care about, because we don't think that things like IGN or GameSpot, really give the coverage that are required. A lot of those articles are paid for. A lot of those things that they don't see behind the scenes aren't real journalism. And so we, as people, being so careful about things like that, we're trying to be unbiased. We're trying to take everything, the right way and give people the most open idea of what we're doing. Therefore, good research needs to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, so anyway, thank you for that, Joe. And what we want to do now is just read a couple comments. You guys really liked our first podcast where we talked about the NX and all the speculation, all the tech stuff we talked about. So we have a couple comments we want to read for your support. That was really nice. We'll have Joe read the first one. Who's it from?
This is from Alligator Rick. Alligator Rick. And it says, Super Metal Dave 64, this video was so informative. You seem to have done your homework on everything that you've talked about, and I'm excited for the NX whenever it is released. Do you have any insight on how this hybrid system is going to work? Will all the guts and power be in the base console, or the mobile device, or both? Thanks, you guys are top-notch, state-of-the-art, cream of the crop, LOL. So, thanks again for that, Alligator Rick.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I can say about that is, honestly, we don't know.
Yeah.
We're desperately trying to find out. As far as I know about the NX, it's a mystery of how the hybrid system is going to work. I'm thinking that because of their 3DS technology and their handheld console system,
and the Wii U
technology and the
stuff
is so advanced and kind of, they rule the handheld console market. There's nobody that can argue that they don't. Their sales are out of control.
Yep.
The 3DS alone is 55 million units sold as of today.
Yeah, and they merged their companies together. Their development companies together. The console and the handhelds, they merged together into one.
Exactly.
So that has birthed the NX, which is going to be released probably next year. So you got to think it's going to have, like was speculated, we talked about, it's going to have a mobile aspect to it.
Yeah, and so the mobile aspect is going to be like no other mobile aspect we've seen, because they are the kings of mobile aspect. They really are. And I don't think that they've ever made a bad mobile system, nor have they made one that didn't sell or didn't give and deliver everything that they needed. All they have to do is just take it to the next level. So I think that will be there in the NX, but again, just an opinion.
Yeah.
But it only makes logical sense that they're trying to break that. They maybe not have an X3DS. They may just have the NX.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're leveraging. It makes the most logical sense from what they're pushing. And then I would think that the hardware is going to be exactly what the hardware is. It's kind of like putting it into one thing. So now you have a really advanced 3DS with a really advanced Wii U on industry-leading chips that allow you to do amazing graphics. That's what I hope to see. I don't know. It could just be streaming technology. I don't know.
Well, yeah, industry-leading chips, we talked about this last time, is that, we talked about that. It means that it's going to be the most powerful system when it's released. That's all it means.
Yep.
Industry-leading in the console industry means that. So anyway, next comment from Amber Highland. She says, "You guys are awesome." Thanks. Thanks for making this. I really enjoy listening to discussions from people who actually know what they're talking about. While drinking. She didn't say that, though. Where we're drinking.
We're definitely drinking.
And she goes on to say, "I'm tired of all the Nintendo and Wii U hate I've been hearing for the last few years. So this is a huge breath of fresh air for me. I can't wait to see what you guys talk about next." Well, we're talking about you next. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, well, and the thing is
it's true, though.
Me and David have been trying to figure out this for years.
The hate.
The good games are good games are good games. Good development is good development.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's on a PlayStation 4. Doesn't matter if it's on an Xbone. Doesn't matter if it's on a Wii U. A good game is a good game. Doesn't matter the flavor of the console. In fact, economically, it doesn't make any sense for a console to be better than another console. Everything, which we're going to get later in this podcast, has to do about IP and software development.
Yep.
It's the software that you develop that is important. It has nothing to do with how powerful or how marketable your system, your console, your hardware is. Yes, it's very helpful for it to be cutting edge and leading technology.
And Amber, talking to you now, when you think about the Nintendo and Wii U hate, it's really, when people talk about something so much, what does that really mean then? You know what I mean? You hate something so much, you're taking so much time to talk about it. That must mean what? You're threatened by it or what? Like Nintendo by itself brings a threat to other companies because they make games like nobody else makes games like Nintendo.
And so, I mean, it's got to be three things. It's got to be either jealousy, lack of economic choice. You can only buy one system, and so the system that I buy is going to be the best one, and everything else sucks because I really want them all, but I can't have them all, so everything sucks except my choice.
Yeah.
So you have those two, and then you just have, I guess, blind marketable stupidity, like when we start talking about EA and Origin, and
later we'll get to that.
Later in the stuff when we start talking about some of the development that's going on, and just pure stupid. But so it's one of those three things.
But Amber, we appreciate your comments, and definitely, we're trying to bring a breath of fresh air to this. Doing this is really enjoyable. So we'll let Joe read the last comment we're going to read from who?
And this is from Kitty Dong. Love that.
Like a nice name.
This is a really great podcast. Well done. I thought this was just going to be more ridiculous series like Game Explain and the NWC podcast, neither of which know what they're talking about when it comes to hardware or software development. It's refreshing to hear discussions from a more technical perspective. And we really appreciate that because me and David both sit in technical fields and do our research and love computers. Both me and David have been building video game consoles, PCs at home for years. We built them together. We've been avid gamers in the PC community. We played tournaments. We've hosted tournaments. Like, we absolutely love the video game community and want to see it grow.
And Unreal tournaments.
Love
that game.
And we've been PC gamers for so long, and you can't crack into a real gaming machine without at least a little bit of knowledge of what you're doing and understanding what that means. And so we really appreciate the fact that you see that and that we want to keep bringing that kind of content to you. We want to be technical. We want to talk about the things and what they mean so that other people can understand them the way that we do. And we also learn by teaching.
Yeah. And it's also like from noticing what other people have done on YouTube is that they will spout out stuff without doing research. And it makes them look really stupid. So you have really stupid looking Nintendo fans out there that say really ridiculous things that make no sense.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we can kind of corral that and bring it into a point where it can be understandable, and give reasons for things and not just throwing out, wild
We're not trying about throwing out wild stuff. We're actually doing the research. If there are things that you guys find, in fact, some of the comments that didn't make this podcast, were people that found errors and flaws in our research, and we hope to address those soon. Because this is about a conversation. This is about a dialogue between you and us to figure out why we're not, or the video game industry is just not making the games that we want to see. And fast enough and good enough. There's a lot of good games out there, but there could be more. There's a lot of crap. And a lot of crap that sells.
Yes.
And that's the thing that always makes me and David worried is when the terrible video game sells 1 million copies. But we're going to get to that later.
Yeah, exactly. So, thank you guys for your comments. There's also one other comment. I don't have him written down here, but he said that one of us sounds like the guy from the Big Lebowski movie.
It's got to be
Walter.
Me.
So it had to be Joe. This is Joe over here.
Joe over here.
So that was played by John Goodman, the actor.
And I kind of got that deep voice thing going on.
But personally, I don't think he sounds quite like that. But hey, whatever. That's great.
I'll take Joe Goodman. I'll take that.
And I'll be the dude. Hey, dude. Anyway.
I'm the dude, man. I'm the dude.
Yeah, but good stuff. Thank you guys for all your comments. So now we'll get into some of our thoughts on the... I haven't gotten Joe's thoughts on the recent Nintendo Direct from last week. The huge announcement, we'll get right to it, is that, Nintendo announced Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII is going to be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U and 3DS. So what do you think about that? Him being playable on Smash Brothers?
Well, business-wise,
never has Cloud been on a Nintendo console.
Business-wise, I see this. I see Square Enix, who was bought by EA. If I think they're not owned by EA anymore.
They're their own thing.
Their own thing.
Yeah. Square and Enix became one company.
Became one company, and then it was Eidos. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Eidos got bought by Origin. Never mind. See, that's where research helps.
Yeah.
But basically, what I'm seeing is that Square's favoring Nintendo again, which has always excited me because my favorite RPG of all time is a Square game called Chrono Trigger that came out on the Super Nintendo. That is just so good. And if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, play freaking Chrono Trigger. It will change your life and the way that you look at games.
So good.
Great battle system, amazing graphics, all this stuff. Square has made consistently great games forever. But because of the cartridge CD-ROM thing, they went toward more PlayStation because it was more friendly for what they needed. Wanted full motion video.
Yep.
They wanted some easier development, and that's what PlayStation 2 really... PlayStation 1 and 2 offered them. I believe it was a PlayStation 1 game, Final Fantasy 7, yes?
Yes. Definitely.
And at the time, there just wasn't a way to do full motion video on a cartridge like that.
Without a lot more memory. Resident Evil 2 did it like real late in the N64 lifespan, real short clips. But Final Fantasy 7 was like an 80-hour game.
Yeah.
Now,
so
I did play Final Fantasy 7 for a very short amount of time. Like I said in my other video, guys, I was too distracted by the pixelation of the game. The game looked terrible in my point of view. Mm-hmm. It looked really blurry. It looked really pixelated. And also, like I said in that video, a little game called GoldenEye came out.
Yeah.
In 1997, the same time that game came out. I played that for 2 years straight, nonstop. Me and Joe both did. So
yeah, I mean, I played all the way through Final
really
Fantasy 7. I liked the story.
Mm-hmm.
I still thought Final Fantasy 3, original Final Fantasy 7 or 6, was better, just because of storytelling and just the way that it was built.
Fantastic game.
Just a fantastic game, but 7 is not bad.
No.
7 and the remakes of it when they kind of took that bad full motion video and pixelation and kind of cleaned up the anime style, because they went with a really hard like Japanese anime style with that game. When they cleaned it up a little bit, it removed the distraction even for me.
Yeah.
To where I was like, oh, I really enjoy this.
Well, I mean, it looks a lot sharper now on emulated, like on a PC. They have it on Steam. You can buy it on Steam. Mm-hmm. You can get it on PlayStation Plus.
Well, they got like 3 remastered versions of that game.
But they're going to be releasing the Final Fantasy VII full HD redone complete remake on PlayStation 4 first.
Yeah.
So this has led to speculation that Final Fantasy VII remake will be coming to the Nintendo NX
and see, that's the whole thing. It's like, if Square's willing to do a deal, I guarantee you it's not just for one character.
Yeah.
It's like how Nintendo does everything. It's a little taste of like a hey of this, and then the game comes out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really nice to see that they're getting those characters, getting Square back into its family, kind of where it started. Because Square makes great RPGs that I love playing, and I would love to play them on Nintendo. Hopefully, a Square Nintendo exclusive like the old days, so we can get that magic back again, like Chrono Trigger, which I think might be the best RPG ever made.
A lot of people agree with you.
And they need to get to that magic.
Now remember, guys, Square Enix already announced Dragon Quest XI for the NX by mistake, basically, before Nintendo even announced the NX what it was, really. So, and what happens when they release a Smash Bros. Character? What usually comes with it?
A game. Or
no,
at least something.
An amiibo.
Yeah, an amiibo. Thank you.
Well, yeah,
I'm slow.
That's my drink.
I'm helping.
Okay.
I'm catching you up.
He's drinking my drink.
What you don't realize is I have half a drink, because then we're not on camera, and you have this whole drink there just being neglected.
Well, damn it, I'm talking. Let me drink. All right, yeah, we are drinking. Anyway, so yeah. So it only makes sense. If you're going to release an amiibo of Cloud, Strife, from Final Fantasy VII,
I want it.
You already got Dragon Quest coming. You got Final Fantasy, 14? Probably coming to the NX also, which is an MMO game. And they already said that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a PlayStation first on PlayStation 4, not exclusive. What other system are they going to release it for? Xbox One? Yeah, you know, maybe, but why not? You know, obviously they're in good standing with Nintendo again, or they have a good relationship again with Nintendo. So why not? It makes perfect sense to release it on that system.
Honestly, I don't
later.
feel that they ever had a bad relationship. It was just they had to go separate ways because of hardware differences.
Yeah, and with the N64 at least, yeah, for sure. So anyway, you know, what we can talk about next is with that Nintendo Direct, they revealed right away off the bat, they revealed Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U,
Yeah.
right?
No, and I love being right because we basically called it, although the evidence was paramount. I just love that we were like, well, we're not saying that we're saying, but blah, blah, blah. And then they announced it, so we feel super validated that we were right about the whole data mining thing.
Now, I was a little bit disappointed that the game was just an HD remake. It was just not a remake, it was an HD up-res. So all the textures have been put in high resolution. It looks great, but none of the models have been upped in the polygon count. So they're a little blocky on some of the stuff. So I was a little disappointed in that, but
I wonder if they felt that it was going to lose the art style. Twilight Princess has got a pretty strong art style to it.
Yeah.
Just like Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
And although I think that they could up the polygon count to still stay in that art style, it might have just been too much work.
Uh-huh.
You know, and they were like, no, we're going to have to reanimate everything, and we're going to have to redraw everything, and we're going to have to, and then we're going to lose it. And so if that was the situation, then I'm all for them not up-resing the characters to lose kind of the art style of the game, because I really did enjoy the way the game looked originally, and I would hate to up-res it to a point to where it loses that specialness.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. But, and also, as a side point, the game is not going to have, it doesn't look like it's going to have waggle stuff going on.
Oh, thank God.
It has all button layouts, and Link is left-handed again.
Nice.
So
the way it should be.
So basically, your sword's going to be the B button, and A will be your action button, and the other buttons will be your items. So I'm happy for that. I never played the GameCube version myself. I know that it's probably the way it was supposed to be. So I'm excited to see that how that game looks. I
have to take one small Zelda pause.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that I think that it's so funny that like how history repeats itself. So now here we are in the same GameCube Wii transfer, where we're most likely going to get a Zelda game again that goes between the Wii U and the NX on both systems.
Yeah, it's definitely
looking that way. And isn't that weird how that's like all of our Zelda games that I've been pining for because I'm such a crazy Zelda fan have happened on the system crossover.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Now, they did show Zelda Wii U footage, the brand new Zelda, for about 15 seconds, and it looked amazing. And the grass, I've never seen grass look that good in my life. I mean, in a game before. It looks better than anything I've ever seen ever. And it just, the world looks amazing.
I'm so excited for that game. I hope they really nail it this time.
Yeah.
To bring it to where Zelda is not a every 5-year kind of game. But, like a every couple of year kind of game.
Well, it's kind of good a little bit that they do that because you don't want Assassin's Creed syndrome, right?
No. Yeah, but they don't. Nintendo doesn't develop. They're not DICE. Like they don't make like good game, bad game, good game, bad game.
Or Ubisoft.
Where it's like good game, bad game, good game, bad game. Like they try.
Yeah. But that game has a lot of effort put into it. You can tell, so much detail in it. It looks actually gorgeous. So, they said it is coming out in 2016 for the Wii U. Obviously, they're not going to say anything about NX in 2015 with Christmas coming up. They're going to talk about Wii U only right now. And so, they also did show some updated footage from Star Fox Zero, which looks great. Sadly, it's been delayed till April 2016.
God, the game's been delayed like 3 times.
Yeah,
now.
But it looks a lot better for it already. So, hey, delay a game, make it better. Release it now, make it worse. No, I'm all for it being delayed.
That is
better.
The one thing that I will always give development respect for is somebody upstairs saying no. Yeah. It's not perfect. When's the last game that you can think of from Nintendo that came out broken?
Yeah, none.
Yeah.
No.
They might have a patch here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's why. That's what it takes. It takes, nope, we're shelving it, or no, we're not producing it at all, or whatever. And yeah, sometimes it sucks for the fans, but they don't release garbage. And there's so many other people like, we're halfway there. Let's just...
they'll buy it anyway.
They'll buy it anyway.
We'll patch it later.
We'll patch it anyway. Watch Dogs.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Assassin's Creed. Like, it totally looks like that. No, it doesn't.
We don't know what happened. It didn't run like this in development. Now it runs like crap.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't understand. I love it. I love it when they come up with those great excuses. It's like, no, you just released a broken game.
Yeah.
Because you needed to make your money back. And we get it.
Make
your money back. Just don't be a dick about it.
What's so sad about that is that when you think about it, consumers could sue these companies.
We should
for doing
be able
that.
to.
Because they show these games at E3 and they show trailers of them.
We should be able to.
And they run perfectly. They release it and it's broken.
Yeah, but that would open a can of worms because then we'd be able to sue George Lucas for, like, making Star Wars suck.
Yeah.
So like...
That's another can of worms.
That's a whole other can of worms.
But as far as... No, actually showing playable demos of levels that run perfect. But behind the scenes, they're being run behind the TV on a PC. Oh, it'll run like that when it's released. Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot to be said about releasing a game that runs good on day one. Nintendo has done that. Congrats, Nintendo. Another game we're really excited for is Xenoblade Chronicles X coming out December 4th.
Controversy.
A little bit of controversy, yeah. But one thing that nobody can argue with this game about is that it looks amazing. There is no game on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One that looks as good as this game in a grand open world setting. Fallout 4 that looks like crap compared to it. I don't care what you come at me with your arguments about whatever looks better in this game.
We have the footage. We've seen.
This game looks amazing.
It looks amazing, and
it's really a technical marvel. It's amazing.
It really, really captures something that I've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is getting back to Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah.
It's got that and I haven't played it, so I don't know.
You're right, though. It does.
But it has that Phantasy Star Online feel. A little bit of anime and Japanese folklore mixed in with some mecha and some hypertech. And then the open world, so it's like Monster Hunter, but with all the technology that I like. And that's one of the reasons I love Chrono Trigger so much, is I'm like a techno geek when it comes to RPG. As much as, like, old stuff excites me, like old weapons and blah, blah, and I'm still excited more about, like, technical and time travel and robots and powered crystals and all this cool stuff that, like, and laser swords and like just the imagination exploding. That it isn't just all stuck in the past.
What's so cool about this game is that it has everything you just said in it.
Yeah,
and that's great. You have your laser sword. You can have dual wielding swords. And what's cool about your character that you create, you can actually have a character that has dual-wielding swords, and you can switch to the gun as well. You can switch to a rifle or dual guns and shoot from long range and go up close and do the swords.
I'm
that
still
is
most
amazing.
I'm still most excited about the robots.
And the robots, too.
They're like, you gotta get fuel, and you can jump in the mech anytime you want, and then call it down from orbit, and big giant robots.
Now, don't get too upset here, but you can't unlock those mechs until you're about 30 hours into the game. Because it's a story-driven kind of thing. There's something goes on with the story.
Hey, as long as I can earn it.
Yeah.
It's not DLC.
Well, see, the game...
We'll get to that later.
the game encourages explorations, right? So the best way to explore that game is on foot at first. Then you have waypoints where you can warp to different points in the game, and everything is seamless. There's only loading screens when you have to warp or go into New Los Angeles, the main town. The entire game is completely streamed live. There's no loading.
Yeah.
I've seen this online, guys. You can walk across the entire world continuously. There's no loading at all. That is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in a video game. I've never seen any game do that before, ever.
The other thing that I find that's really cool that they use is a lot of times, like, I've been playing the crap out of MGS5, which is supposed to be like a...
Metal Gear Solid 5,
yeah. Which is supposed to be open world and all. And it is good. You haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5? Everybody should play it. Pick up a game. If it isn't, like, I don't know what they call that, but like a gold or silver or, top 1 game or a million seller or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably a gold game, yeah.
Yeah, like, you get it, because it is. It's not a perfect 10. There's some things that are wrong with it, but it's a hard 8. It's a hard 8.
Or 9, yeah.
Or 9. And I'm just amazed by it. And one of the things, though, is they do this really funny thing that Xenoblade Chronicles, as far as the footage, doesn't do. They give you... It feels open world, but they give you a lot of logical barriers. Mountains in your way.
Yeah.
Tank barricades, doors that don't open, that you could probably open or blow up, but they don't blow up. Invisible wall kind of stuff. But they've gotten smart enough in this day and age not to give you a straight up visible wall. Yeah. So it's like an invisible wall with a fence.
That's Nintendo 64 stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to progress any further because it's the end of the map. And you don't want to go that way. I have not seen that. with Xenoblade Chronicles. They don't make logical barriers like that. It's you can go around, you can climb the mountain, you can go up to the top, you can look at the bottom, you can go anywhere that you want to go, and then basically they kind of put it in an island thing. Like you can't really go out into the water. Like the water.
No. You can go on the water. You can swim.
Really?
You can swim. Absolutely swim. You can't. I haven't seen anybody.
Well, you can't just like go like I'm gonna head out into the water forever.
Yes,
and then
you can.
Really?
Yeah.
And then they just.
I know.
And then you eventually die or something. How do they bring their character back?
Well, you need to. I guess you swim to a point where you reach some other part of the island, basically. But they designed it. The game's been in development for 5 years. Yeah. 5 years.
Yeah, like the map development on the game
is
one of those things that I've seen that doesn't represent that logical barrier open world problem.
Yeah.
Where you're stuck. And like Grand Theft Auto, they do it very cleverly. Like your character can swim, but not really. So they use water as a barrier. So everything's an island.
You can't go there.
And you can't necessarily, or they'll block off a bridge, or like, so they use Cityscape to like keep you in your box, even though it's open world, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
But they use stuff to save memory, and to avoid pop in.
Yeah.
And this game just like doesn't suffer from that.
I
don't see a lot of pop in. I don't see a lot of like stuff that. Like, when you're going around, you get stopped in a way to keep the graphics right. Like, it's truly, really open world. I gotta get my hands on it.
Things do fade in from the distance. They have to fade in. It's not pop.
But it makes logical sense. I haven't seen it pop.
What's also awesome about this game, the open world, is that when you unlock the mechs, there's certain areas you can't get to that are vertically up, so high that you can't reach them. So you're running through this open world, you're looking up, and you can't get there. But guess what? You can get there later with the mech. You can fly up there. So it's a vertically open world, way up. I'm talking way up into the sky. And all the things in between on the ground, too. And you got these gigantic dinosaur-looking characters, or enemies.
I think it's a have-get game. It can't come out soon enough.
So, today's November 1st?
21st, yes.
Yeah, so it comes out in like 2 weeks. All right.
Now, are you getting
excited.
the Super Omega version?
No, I'm not.
Should I get the Super Omega version?
If you can get it.
I just don't see the point. I don't get that box set stuff.
But
is there a point to it? You do more research and know more about this game. The box set stuff gives me what?
It gives you a USB stick that looks like one of the pods that you can plug in for the soundtrack of the game. And it has a really cool art book. I don't know. And it looks cool.
I never get the box set thing. I never have gotten it.
But anyway, I'm going to download the game because Joe's probably going to get the disc version. However, they do encourage you to download the data packs that you can from the eShop for the disc version of the game, so it streams the open world better. It drastically reduced the load times that you do encounter by like half the speed. So it's like 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes.
Are they free to download like now? Or whenever the game launches? Or
you can pre-download the entire game right now and purchase it. But it's like 25 gigabytes. I don't think you have enough room on your Wii U. With the disc version, you can download the packs for like 4 or 5 gigabytes. I think you should be able to do it, no problem. It would make the game run just like how it would on the straight-up digital version. So that's good. So anyway, getting to this next point, the Japanese version of Xenoblade Chronicles X has been out since April of 2015. The game is like 300 hours long as far as with all the side quests completed and everything. It's an insanely long game. It'll give you years of enjoyment. So what they did in the Japanese version is that they have, a character creation section in the game where you can control how big the female character's boobs are, right? So for some reason, the American version is censored. They've taken out the boob slider.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made a whole video about this. I don't know why they did that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, it's just like...
Because we're a bunch of frickin' prudes. like America's so up its ass about stuff like that. And like, oh, video games, if you play a violent video game, all the kids murder everyone for Satan.
Yeah.
like it's just not true, but at the same time, we do have a very controlling rating system for both movies and video games that is extremely political.
Yeah.
Luckily, because we're the adults now, and thank God for us and the people out here listening to our voices right now, how important it is to put those old arguments away. You know, these kinds of things, sexual things, cuss words, stuff like that, you know, like, maybe you need to protect your children, maybe you don't. Maybe you need to have a rating system, maybe you don't. But there's no evidence sitting anywhere that says this guy played Grand Theft Auto 5 and murdered 1 million people. That doesn't exist.
He was already messed up.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That does not exist.
Yeah.
And with the more gaming culture, that's why we haven't heard it recently about violent video games. That's why, because there is no scientific parallel. Video games and violent movies or whatever it is, or rating systems, or sex in games, don't make people bad. People make people bad.
Now, I could see them doing this for the American version only for the fact that they want to sell the most copies. Maybe mommy and daddy want to buy this for Junior, and they see it and they have a boob slider. They don't want that for their
no, and I agree.
Their child.
It is mildly distasteful from like a. Well, see, I come from a video game world where I want to be adjust everything.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to adjust everything. I don't care if it's like dick size or nose size. I like want to be able to play with all of the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, to get whatever I want out of it. But, you know, I could see how sexualization of female form could be a very slippery slope for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, the American version has females that have big boobs in it pre-baked. Like some of the enemies and some of the characters that are in the game already have huge boobs. They just don't let you make your own in that way anyway. Now, the other controversy is that, which I didn't realize this until I researched it. In Japan, the character Lynn is 13 years old in the Japanese version of the game, and she's also 13 years old in the American version. They didn't change the age at all. And in the Japanese version, she's scantily clad. Like, she's in bikini, she's showing cleavage. She's 13 years old.
Yeah.
But in Japan, I did research about it.
Yeah, 13 is the age of consent.
Legal age is 13.
Yeah.
So
Google if you don't believe us. Legal age of consent is
yeah.
13. You're an adult at 13 in Japan.
So in United States, they had to censor Lynn because she's still 13 years old in the American version. So you're not going to see her with cleavage and bikini, you know, half naked stuff going on.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. The legal age of consent in the United States is 18 years old. So I totally understand that and totally fine with that.
It's just a weird one of those gray line cultural things, you know?
Yeah.
Japan doesn't really have an issue with that. In the United States, we may. You know, some people do, some people don't. I mean, I guess that's the great part about being free. You can decide for yourself what's right, but when you're trying to make something marketable.
Yeah.
And on a large scale that is a teen-rated game, it's not a mature-rated game.
Right.
So here we are trying to have a larger market. It's one of those weird things where, you know, well, what do you do? I mean, I maybe sitting in that boardroom talking to these people, I'd make the same decision. I'm like, I don't think the game will sell if we have like giant boobs for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So they might have like, whoa, whoa, red flag.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like taking it out, I'm an anti-censorship kind of person. I think that art is art for the sake of art. So I don't.
They had to do it though.
I don't get. Yeah, maybe they had to. I guess it's just, why should we have to? You know, like, oh, are we so small and silly in our, you know, intelligence that we can't handle it? You know, because that's kind of what they're saying. They're saying that we can't handle, you know, a big-boobed 13-year-old like an adult.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit there. I mean, that's the controversy, though. I mean, that's why we're exploring the controversy.
But better not than do, right?
You know, some people will be offended. I just find it more offensive when you make the decision for me.
Yeah.
Then allow me to make the decision myself. But not everybody feels that way. And I know they made...
Yeah.
Stepping back from that idea, I know they made the right decision to sell the game.
Yeah.
You know, it just sucks.
You know
it just sucks.
This is a hardcore Japanese RPG massive world game. It's not a game that's gonna cater to everybody.
No.
It's already right there where you want... This game is going to cater to somebody who's going to be invested into playing the game to the end, 100 plus hours in. So, in order for them to sell this game, I understand that they had to do that because it's already kind of off-putting in the first place for a game that huge. It can cater to a lot of people with the look of the game, though. The game looks beautiful, so I could see that. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's just one of those weird things, like whether we actually need to have ratings on things or not. A lot of times, like rated R movies will sell better than PG-13 versions of the same movie, because they know that R gets people in the seats, the right kind of demographic.
Yeah.
And this could just be one of those such situations where we know what our demographic is, we're focusing on teens, it's not going to work in America, so we need to...
Yeah.
Because they could have easily just it's a mature game, and turned up the... In fact, I would argue that if they did that, if they would have just turned up the sex and blood knob for the American version, it probably would have sold better. We don't know how it's going to sell, mind you.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, we were just oh, it's hardcore, and it's so hardcore, and look at Nintendo with, it's hyper-violence and giant naked boobs flopping everywhere. There's a little bit of that to be oh, yeah, it's super gonna sell. Maybe we just need to slap the rated R on a game. Because it works for other developers. Other developers slap that dumb thing on there, and then oh man, they totally had wieners in this one. Buy it, buy it, buy it.
By the way, what are we drinking, Joe?
We are drinking George C. Dickles Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey, because Dickles tastes great in your mouth.
Stamp it and buy it. Dickles.
Dickles Whiskey.
All right, speaking of that, we'll take a swig.
Take a swig of Dickles Whiskey. We made this drink. It's a little bit of a twist on a Lynchburg lemonade. Those of you that have watched our videos a lot have noticed that we do make drinks.
Yeah.
And my wife is a bartender, so we have a tendency to go in and make cool drinks and do different weird things.
Yeah,
if you're interested in drink recipes,
we had the Dunder Hammer.
Yeah, the Dunder Hammer and the Lightning Strike, and this one we're calling the Dickle Tickler. Dickle Tickler.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna make a best of Dave and Joe Happy Hour for our videos, because a lot of you guys are new to the channel and you haven't seen a lot of those. I think we have about 20
of our
shows.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. It's hilarious. I think you'll love it.
We think we're funny. That's the most important part.
If you like to laugh and laugh at us, hey, by all means.
If you like to laugh at two drunk jackasses, drunk.
But
wow, you're in the right spot.
Dunk or drunk?
I said dunk. Then I said drunk. I corrected myself.
Dunk.
I said two dunked assholes. But I meant to say two drunk assholes.
So. Videos I recommend you guys checking out are Target Terror and NFL Blitz on Dreamcast, and GoldenEye and Rogue Squadron 3. Check those out. I think you'll like them. Anyway.
Well, also, the Gauntlet Legends is funny.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I do fall asleep in that one.
That's right. That's a good one. So anyway, next we're going to talk about Devil's Third. They announced, they actually didn't even show any gameplay in the Nintendo Direct of that game. But they said it's coming out December 11th, and the game is getting terrible reviews. People are saying it's a terrible game. It's like a 5 out of 10 type of game. But they're basing this, what I've noticed, is on, the game has, basically the graphics are kind of like an Xbox 360 level, and it has some choppiness in the frame rate. But everyone has said the game is fun, though.
See,
so why would it get a 5 out of 10?
There's a couple of weird things here in the controversy,
that.
and the first thing that really makes me think is they stopped him from making this game. Devil's Third he was developing it for somebody else, and then they again have not done the research. Just remember the story from when it first happened.
He was making it for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yeah, on PlayStation 3, and then they canned it.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want your game.
And he went to Nintendo, which is what a lot of developers do. The same thing happened with the Suda51 studio and other stuff.
No More Heroes.
And No More Heroes.
Bayonetta 2.
Nintendo, because they love real, Bayonetta 2, exactly.
Yeah.
They love real video games. They love real games. You can come and develop your product. Bayonetta 2 is a great game.
Outstanding game.
Some people could argue whether it belongs in a Nintendo catalog or doesn't.
Don't care.
But I don't. It's freaking care.
It's a great game.
Not only is it a great game, I think the greatest thing about Nintendo, what people forget, is that they've brought in... You want to take Mad World? Mad World, again, is another example of somebody had an artistic vision that wasn't met by another development company that only saw dollar signs.
Yeah.
And they bring it somewhere else to Nintendo and says, I see what you're going for. I see the art. I see how great the game is going to be. We'll help you. Let's finish it.
Yeah.
Let's finish it. How great is it that Nintendo decides to pick up other people's projects, real developers that care about their product, because Nintendo cares, even when it's a weird, murderous, weird, crazy game.
Yeah, the game had development problems. We know that. But is it fun? It sure looks like it's fun.
It looks like it's fun. It's, again, one of those things where if anybody says that Nintendo doesn't have violent video games, they can shut the hell up right now.
Yeah.
Because they do. Some of the most violent video games I've ever seen compared to anybody else.
Yeah, they just released Fatal Frame 5, which is extremely violent and extremely demonic. It's like dark.
Yeah, it's like, no, dude, they don't have Battlefield 4. It's like, Battlefield 4 has light blood. There isn't even any gibbing in that game.
It has a little blood splatter. That's
it. It has a little blood splatter, and it doesn't have any gibbing in the game.
Pop.
Like there's no, like, you shoot somebody with a giant rocket launcher, their body doesn't explode into pieces.
No, they fall down.
They just fall down.
Yeah.
Every other game that we used to play was, we
Unreal
used to be able to gib people, which is called guys in bits. Gibbing. It's all about the gib. You want to talk about hyper-violence? Gibbing.
Yeah.
Nintendo does gibbing.
Duke
Nobody
Nukem.
else has done gibbing in a long time.
Duke Nukem, Quake 2, Quake 3,
Yeah.
Unreal Tournament 3, all those games. You could blow everybody up.
Guys in bits.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Mad World.
I'm willing to give this game a chance. I don't care about the graphics are serviceable. It looks okay. It doesn't look great.
Well, I mean, it's so hard to do what he did anyway.
But the gameplay looks fun.
Yeah.
You're going around with a machete or a katana sword, chopping guys in half, ripping off limbs, and you can use a gun and shoot them from distance. I think that sounds great.
Well, and the concept of the game is just like a total arcade slasher, man.
Yeah.
It's just, it looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be to me kind of like a first-person version of the Devil May Cry kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like a really slasher beat 'em up.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of thing. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I just think it's so funny that it's getting so much crap
Based on graphics and performance.
based on graphics and performance when the game has been a long shot and like somebody's passion project for years.
Yeah.
And it's just, how many games have you seen where somebody's a passion project and someone really cares about that really fails, then make a bad game?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It'd be shelved if it was crap, man.
Yeah.
It would be. There's something special there.
Yeah,
That's
something
why
there.
Nintendo's taking it to where Nintendo's taking it. Or they would have said, dude, we saw your game, get lost, buddy. They're not dumb.
I mentioned Target Terror earlier. We did that whole happy hour video on Target Terror. The game is terrible.
Yeah.
It's a horrible game.
So much fun.
But it's like one of the funnest games I've ever played.
Well, there's satire.
Yeah.
A perfect example, this is way off topic, but a perfect example is another YouTuber, a friend of mine that I get to have contact with here and there, and I really suggest if you're a huge nerd like I am to check him out, although because of YouTube being YouTube, he isn't on YouTube very much anymore. He's on Blip TV, and it's SF Debris, and he does this whole thing on RoboCop. And how the movie almost didn't get made, and what was about the movie,
The original
and all the
one.
stuff, the original RoboCop. And the original director, satirical hyperviolence is what he was going for.
Yeah.
And they said it was too violent. They didn't get that it was supposed to be funny violence. It was Target Terror level of violence. Like, just so stupidly over the dumb.
Like Commando.
Like Commando. So far gone into the land of insanity, there's no way that you're going to accept it as real. It's laughable. The whole point is to put it in this world of a hyper-violent, hyper-realistic, dumb state of retardation. And they cut it down and made the movie super dark. In fact, the movie itself is still cut down and feels really, really dark, even though he was trying to make a comedy.
Yeah, I mean, it works well as it is right now, but I'd love to see his original version of it.
His original version was more violent, and they had to cut it back. The whole point being that I get a lot of that from this kind of thing. Some people shy away from that kind of satirical level of violence, but that has... I mean, if anybody thinks that Grand Theft Auto 5 is not a joke game, sell your video games now and never play them again, because you missed the point.
Yeah.
That is a satire.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not a serious game.
It's not. It's making fun of itself the whole time, and it's making fun of hyperviolence and criminality and drugs and our world that we sit in. That's best commentary is the thing that it does by being satirical.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole point. That's what makes the game brilliant. It's not that you can do anything that you want and shoot hookers in the face. It's that it's It's the satire of what you are and what you're doing, and all these very lonely, sad people living in this world that makes you feel better. It's genius.
Yeah.
And it always cracks me up when people miss that, like, maybe it's just satire, man. Maybe The Devil's Third is just this really great art project, and you're just missing it.
I mean, when you think about it, though, what happened to those kind of games? We used to play games like that all the time, and they were great.
DICE happened
EA,
to those kind of games, and EA happened to those kind of games.
But, like, why does it have to be
because
like...
they tricked us.
Yeah, like, why does it have to be like level up your gun, and why does it have to be like, you know, unlock this weapon all the time?
They tricked us.
Why don't you just go kill people?
Yeah, they
rip them in half.
They tricked us. They absolutely 100% tricked us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to get too off topic because we're getting round about to like EA, and the whole time, this whole thing that we've been talking to you guys about is actually the state of video games that we're in right now and development of said video games, and why development hasn't been what it has been in the last 5 years.
Why don't we go ahead and go over to the next topic as we're talking about?
Yeah.
The next topic is Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
They just said, I think 2 days ago, they refused to release any more games on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Saying that there is no install base, even though the Wii U has over 11 million consoles sold worldwide. But they're open to developing on the NX, which has 0.
Yeah, so not only open... This is funny, this is what they're really saying. This is the funniest thing. Is that literally EA, just because that CEO, again, has always consistently picked at Nintendo.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. We talked about it in the last podcast. A douchebag. Let's not even talk about it. You can go look it up on your own if you need to.
Yeah.
The guy, just type in jackass, and you'll find him.
You might find EA, too.
Yeah, you might find EA, too. But, like, and the whole Rayman thing that just went super sideways.
That was Ubisoft. That wasn't EA.
Oh, that wasn't?
Yeah.
That was Ubisoft. Oh, God, them too.
Well, that's another thing. Anyway, EA. Well, what happened was originally that we talked about this earlier is that EA came on to E3 in 2011 and said that they have an unprecedented relationship with Nintendo, quote unquote, and that they were going to be bringing Battlefield to the Wii U and amazing next-gen graphics and all this great relationship. They end up... Wii U comes out 2012. They have a 8-month-old port of Mass Effect 3 come out on the system. And then they released a trilogy, all 3 Mass Effect games on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and not the Wii U a month later.
Yeah.
What the hell? And then they release Need for Speed Most Wanted 6 months late on Wii U. Sounds like crap. Everybody already had the game on the other systems. They had a crappy port of Madden and then and FIFA on the Wii U at launch. Nobody cared because they already had them on the other systems. EA says, okay, we're done with Wii U. It's not selling. So we're not going to release any more games on it. But the rumor was they actually offered the Origin, their game selling software, Origin, to be on the Wii U. And Nintendo said, no, we don't like Origin. The real truth of the matter was they got pissed off. Mm-hmm. And it said, screw you, Nintendo, and screw your Wii U. So
the rumor that we researched out is basically this, just to make it more clear. They wanted to make Wii U's cloud-based download store, eShop, and Origin Shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we all know in the PC community how bad Origin's cloud service is.
Terrible. Like, it's gotten better because it had to.
It's gotten better because it had to, but Steam had it figured out, and they couldn't even copy off their homework. They're like, Steam is dumb. We're going to do it our own way. And then just completely screwed up.
Like, you remember we both got Battlefield 3 in 2011.
Yeah.
And we were,
on launch day.
We were trying to play that game, and it kept having failed downloads. The game crashed all the time. It was just it was just terrible. The game was good.
I don't think that there's a single person that could argue that, regardless of the Battlefield game's success or not success, that their back end, their server download, upload support, patching has been bad since day one on every single game.
Yeah.
Now, some games got released way more broken than others.
Yeah.
But they were all broken. Yeah. And their back end was terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, literally pings out of control online. Like, 300 ping to the server, and it's in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I got like 15 ping to LA right now, and you're telling me it's 300? What are you doing?
You shoot, and the guy doesn't get hit, and he kills you instead.
Like, bad. Just bad. Like, just bad back end. And Origin with Star Wars, which I loved, BioWare Star Wars, nothing but back end problems with Knights of the Old Republic with Origin.
Yeah.
And you'd have to sign in twice. You'd have to sign into your Origin account and then sign into your Star Wars account forever. So I had to sign in twice to play a game once.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point that Origin needs to keep track of me? Why can't I just have one login? Steam only has one login.
Yeah,
I don't log in twice in Steam.
No, you sure don't.
Pathetic.
But so props to Nintendo for not taking a chance.
Thank God, it would have been terrible.
Can you imagine the disaster that would have been? But getting back to...
Or they would have fixed it, but then Origin would have taken credit for it.
But, getting back to their comments on the Wii U, the Wii U has 11 million systems sold and the NX has 0, but yet they're more willing to develop for NX than Wii U.
Well, let's not forget...
It doesn't make any sense.
Let's not forget the most important thing, which EA has constantly got a flag in the air for, which is the Xbone.
And graphics.
And graphics and Xbone. Graphics and Xbone and Microsoft. And how many Xbox have been sold compared to the Wii U? Do you remember? I'll look it up right now. Because it's not more than.
Well, no, it is. Yeah,
it
Xbox
is now?
One has,
it is finally more than now?
No, yeah, it's 15 million. Wii U has 11 million. Yeah.
So they beat it finally. Because they were not beating it.
EA is all about PlayStation 4 right now because they have the 28 million, 29 million.
And excuse my language because we're trying to stay nice here, but EA is a whore. They're a complete video game whore. They represent everything bad in the world of development. All they care about is money. That's it.
Well, we're gonna get more to that in just a minute, though. But I just thought it was weird that they would ignore the Wii U. Like the Wii U has 11 million systems sold. There is a market there.
There's a market.
I understand. I mean, I don't understand.
That's 11 million people times $59.99. If you could make a game that they'd all buy.
Yeah, they'd buy. Somebody would buy Madden on the Wii U. Sure, why not? Yeah. Or they'd buy FIFA. Or they'd buy one of their games. Whatever. They'd probably buy. Whatever. There's somebody there to buy it. Is what they're saying. There's really no excuse at this point. I can see after 6 months they would say, "Oh, there's nobody there. It's only sold 2 million. I'm not gonna. Anyway, that's a bunch of crap. So. Getting to the next topic now. We're done with the Nintendo Direct, by the way. We're going on to the Nintendo NX. Getting back to Electronic Arts, they said just a week and a half ago that they're looking into any and every opportunity with the Nintendo NX when it comes out. So, which means that they want to release games on NX. They could care less about Wii U. They said that. Now, then also Capcom has now come out and said that they're looking to any and every possibility. Basically the same line to release games on NX also. Square Enix, we already know about them. They already leaked Dragon Quest XI.
No, we're seeing the third-party development really swing back around.
So, I mean, so I have a source in the industry that I'm going to let, I'm not going to say who it is, but he has told me, this source that this is exclusive information, by the way, is that obviously it's not really hard to believe. But,
Dave and Joe Happy Hour exclusive.
But all major video game publishers now have Nintendo NX SDK development kits, which means that Electronic Arts, Activision, which makes Call of Duty, Ubisoft, which makes Assassin's Creed, Square Enix, Final Fantasy, Capcom, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, they all have NX development kits at this point. So there you have it. They all have the kits already. So, and they're publicly saying they're looking into any and all possibilities on NX. The reason why they're saying it in this way, guys, is because Nintendo themselves has not revealed the system yet. People are asking them directly about this system. Are you going to have games on NX? It's rumored to come out next year. Yeah, we're looking into that system. We can't say anything about it now, though, because Nintendo hasn't said anything yet. Like, give us you know what I mean? Like, and Nintendo's probably saying, just keep it down. It's the holiday season, Wii U. And the Wii U does have a lot of games coming out in 2016 still. They got Pokken Tournament, they got Star Fox Zero, they got, Zelda coming out, they got the Fire Emblem Cross game coming out. They got games coming out in 2016 for the Wii U, but NX is coming. We know that. So I just thought that was interesting that all the publishers do in fact have development kits now. It hasn't been officially confirmed by the publishers, but my proven inside source that has been trusted in the past confirms that they do. What do you think?
What are you gonna say? All it makes me want to do is get down to brass tacks, which is let's talk about some of the largest video game sales that have been going on cross-console.
Okay.
I'm going to not say which console this are. I'm just going to name developers of top system games that have been sold.
And why are we talking about this right now?
Well, because this is the brass tacks. This is, and we're getting way off tangent. That's why David's confused, because we try to like keep our ideas, but now it's gone open floor.
All right, go ahead.
So, this is what we see in the top 10 video games that are being sold right now on one of the most popular systems. We have Take-Two Interactive, Activision, Electronic Arts, followed by Activision, followed by Electronic Arts, followed by Ubisoft, followed by Electronic Arts.
Okay.
So, that's what's in the market right now. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Ubisoft and Electronic Arts minus Take-Two Interactive, which Take-Two Interactive is, if people don't know, is the publisher of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
So, of course, it's charting.
Yeah.
Because that game rocked.
Yeah.
And it's selling millions of copies probably right now.
Yeah.
The thing is this. They have the NX because they want to sell games. And they don't care who they sell them to. They want another viable port.
Yeah.
It's not that they want to make good games. It's not that they want to make exclusives. They want to expand their market.
Yeah.
And EA doesn't care if they make a good game.
Yep.
They care if they make money.
Money. Yep.
And I think that that's the most distasteful thing you could do as an entertainment and video game publisher, is to care more about the money than the process of the game. That's like saying, well, if we change the script in this movie, we can put more ad placement in it so the studio can make more money, which we see. And what happens? The movie sucks and everybody gets pissed.
Exactly.
We are now in this day and age of the video game industry being almost 40 years old. Well, and if we want to take it since the far of Atari, we're going to say that the video game industry is really being an actual vehicle for success, an actual, million and billion dollar industry. It didn't really start getting rolling till the 90s. But let's take it as like 85-ish?
That's when the NES was released.
Yeah, like 85-ish, pulled them out of the 70s funk when video games basically disappeared.
30 years ago, 85, yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at a 30-year industry. Not a 40-year industry, but a 30-year industry, and more likely a 25-year-old industry. Realistically. Which puts it like right around 1990.
By the way, yesterday or 2 days ago was the 25th anniversary of the Super Famicom, Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Released in Japan, November 20th, 1990.
What a great system.
Yeah. Best ever, probably. But anyway.
So what we're seeing is that Ubisoft, Activision are really the market leader of software development. They are leading the charge.
Yeah.
Well, Electronic Arts is EA.
Yeah.
So, I said Activision.
Yeah.
What I meant to say is Electronic Arts and
Activision
Ubisoft.
has Call of Duty.
Activision has Call of Duty, but Activision's the... Okay, so it's like the second and 10th place. Everything else in between there is Electronic Arts or Ubisoft.
Yeah, okay. We got, yeah.
And so we got these big three.
Yeah.
But Activision does what Activision stuff does, and then obviously Origin and EA do what they do. And
Activision has Skylanders and what's it called? Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I find so appalling is that they're all kind of doing the same thing. They aren't really developing a brand or doing anything. I mean, Skylanders is okay. I'd say that it doesn't get enough credit for doing like the Disney Infinity Lego thing. By the way, the buy-in on the Lego thing is like $150.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like you want to talk about like just gouging. Now you do get Lego things. You like get Lego toys, but you want to talk about like gouging your customer. The buy-in for the Lego like first set and game is like $100, and then you have to buy immediately like another set right after that for like another $50 plus the DLC. So like you're into it for like I was looking into buying it for Beth because she likes like she enjoyed what we were playing, the Disney Infinity.
2.0?
We had 1.0 and 2.0, and she really enjoyed it, and she enjoyed collecting the models, and we play it together because we look for games to play together. My wife is not nearly an avid gamer as I am, so I have to find other types of gaming avenues Because if it's control complicated or too first-person shootery, she's just not interested. She just doesn't have any interest in that kind of thing. Plays a lot of Nintendo, a lot of Mario games. She's playing the new
Mario Kart
Yoshi
8,
game
yeah.
and Mario Kart 8. Loves all that stuff. Really up her alley because the controls are simple and the development's there. There's not a lot of learning curve. You can be good at the game, and you can enjoy it. You can pick it up and put it down.
Yeah.
But you can still have the depth that is there for someone that's interested in being the hardcore gamer. And so my whole point is that
These big companies.
are really destroying the fabric of video game development. And that they're willing to push out bad games so that they can make profit.
Yep.
Something that you don't see their enemy, Nintendo, ever doing. Because I'll give another example, in fact. We'll just stay real vague, but it's really freaking funny. So we're going to just talk about another set of games that sold just as well. And here's the top 10 list. And the global sales are almost comparison to not only Ubisoft and Activision, but it's all one company, and it's Mario Kart 8, New Super Mario Bros. U, Nintendo Land, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, Super Mario 3D World, New Super Luigi U, Splatoon, Wii Party U, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, the HD remake, and Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
Crushing it. So you have a development company. Now everybody knows that now I'm talking about Nintendo.
Yeah.
But their top 10 list of what it is, all their IPs are selling equal to Activision, EA, and Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, yeah.
They're scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Because now you have this mogul that's literally pumping out millions of dollars in console sales stuff, millions of dollars in IP, where they're beating the IP of every other single person, period.
From one company.
And they get to keep all the money.
Yeah.
It's like EA develops for whoever EA develops for. They keep their money, and PlayStation 4 keeps their money, and that's it. Nintendo gets all of that revenue because they're developing inside their own product.
Yep,
So
exactly.
not only does the console sell, when their game sells, they keep all of it. They don't have to go. PlayStation 4 doesn't have to go pay Activision for putting a game out on their system. And if people are like, "What are you talking about?" That's how it works, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
PlayStation 4 makes a certain amount of money for every game sold for their console, because otherwise, why would you do it? And at the same time, the development people make money on their IP and their stuff.
They'll get a piece of the same pie.
Of the same pie for every unit sold. Nintendo doesn't have to worry about that because it's not
They sell a game and
just
they get it all.
their top 10. 16th on the list is Ubisoft, and it's Zombie U, which is a great game.
Yeah.
I own it. I still own it. Think it's great. An amazing game. Wish they'd make more of that kind of game for Nintendo. But 15 Nintendo games in a row from the publisher are all top charting, which means every unit that they sell, whether it's Mario Kart 8 or Hyrule Warriors, they've made their money. They're not going anywhere. They get to spend more time on doing more development. This is why EA and Activision and Ubisoft make such a big stink. It's because the reality is they're getting murdered on aggregate.
Yeah, they're getting all their money on DLC, which is our next topic, Star Wars Battlefront. Now, the base game of Star Wars Battlefront costs $59.99, and you get 12 levels. You get 12 levels for multiplayer, and the game is only multiplayer. There's no campaign, there's no story, it's just multiplayer. $59.99, 12 levels. And the Season Pass DLC costs $50, and you get 16 levels, and you get more ships, you get more costumes, you get more weapons. So the DLC gives you more content than the base game. So, what the hell is going on here with our industry?
Honestly, I don't know. It seems that marketing and people saying things that suck when they don't suck. is everything that this video game industry is about. Instead of doing the research for yourself, make an opinion for yourself, find out what you like. I'm not saying that you can hate Mario because you played Mario and you're like, I don't like platformers. I get it.
Yeah, sure.
Fine. Don't like platformers. There's still 5.6 million people globally that do.
yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at the numbers on the other thing right now on my iPad just to keep our research straight. The whole point is we need to stop listening to the marketing and we need to stop buying into their BS. Because all the company is doing is trying to figure out a way to say that they're good and everything else is bad so you can buy my crap. And then they put out that DLC lure, which is even worse, which is like, but you don't get the whole game because we're so great. We're so great at what we do, you don't get the whole game. You're going to get part of the game, and then if you really like it, or if you're cool enough to have more money than everybody else, you can have the special thing. You know what?
That's terrible, man.
You know what? You should be able to earn everything in that game that you develop.
You should be able to unlock those levels.
And I'm not saying pay for advanced speed or unlock or content. Like, if you want to charge somebody money to unlock the whole game on day one, okay. That's an economic choice. Fine. So the rich people get richer. Awesome. Whatever. If that's the market that you want to have, but you should still be able to earn it by playing the game.
Yeah, and that's not the case.
But that's not the case. The case with Origin, specifically in EA and their DLC campaigns, is that they develop for the DLC. Mm-hmm. They literally build the game so that they get you with this crap, and they're like, oh, but if you want to have the good game, you got to give us like another $1 million.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Exactly.
And that's
sad.
That's why we need to band together and stop buying it. Mm-hmm. All of us as gamers that are fed up with bad games and DLC and crappy content and getting gouged left and right for what is a far less fun experience for a used game that you can go pick up off the shelf that is a couple years old.
Yeah.
You know? They're abusing their fan base. They're hurting the gamer community, all for their own profit. And it has to stop. And the only way that we can make it stop buying bad games. Stop buying games with DLC. Mm-hmm. Stop buying games from companies that put money first and not development first. We need to put development first.
Yeah, I mean, you release a game for $60, that should be the full game. That's a full game price. Why would you get less than half the game? They planned 28 levels to be released in that game for Battlefront. Not just 12, but 28, right? 12 plus 16.
Yeah.
So they purposely released less than half of the game on day one for $60. It's terrible. It's insane. I can't believe it. I played the beta, by the way, and I thought the game was fun, but I was like, I'll wait and see.
To me, it was missing something. I don't know what it was missing.
The
I
story
can't explain.
There's no story. No campaign.
I don't know there wasn't any in the other Battlefront, but I love the other Battlefront. Something about that mattered. To this, when I see this game, it just doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't matter.
And from all the reviews I've read about of the game, is that the game is fun for about 10 hours and then it gets really shallow. Because you run out of stuff to do.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying that first-person shooting isn't the end-all, be-all of hardcore game, blah, blah. But the reality is, there's a lot of other games out there.
It hasn't evolved in 10 years.
And it has not evolved. In fact, now, Dorkly, which is another YouTube...
That's funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
Dorkly is another YouTube channel that I watch, and they recently bagged on Mario for doing the same thing that Call of Duty or Black Ops or one of the dumb first-person shooting games that I care about.
What did they do?
Well, they were just saying, like, he's like, oh, you want to play, like, Modern Warfare or whatever, and Luigi's playing Modern Warfare on the thing.
Right.
And he's like, what? Is this the same thing? And Mario's like, it's the same thing all over again, and blah, blah, blah. Like, as he's digging through the closet of, like, all the same dumb crap that they do. And so basically, like, yeah, Mario is kind of the thing every single time.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda. Just like
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is the same thing every
Battlefield.
It's the same thing every time. They're a lot closer, I would say, Call of Duty games as being less different than Mario games are. But, yeah, same game mechanic. So let's not give it shit for being the same game mechanic.
But it's also not quite about that either.
Yeah. The thing is, when I go back to the first-person shooting games that I really like, the game mechanics that I really like, it's not this... You know what? I miss Counter-Strike. I miss people that play Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is what Call of Duty should be. There's no hiding behind a container...
A box.
...to get your health back.
Yeah. While your blood splatters.
While your blood, like,
fades
dude,
away.
you got shot. You know what the great thing
You're
about...
dead.
You know,
Yeah.
you know what the great thing about Counter-Strike is? You get shot once, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know what the great thing about GoldenEye is? You get shot once, you're dead. You play the game right.
License to kill, yeah.
You play the game right, you maybe get hit twice.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that realistically you're doing all of this realism, all of these great guns and upgrades and battle armor and blah, 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 to tell me that you're going to get shot fucking 75 times in a match and be like, I totally hid behind a barrel. I'm fine. Now, I understand there's a medical thing in that game. I can't remember which one it is. There's one of them I play. I want to say it was Battlefield 3. You can be a medic and you can heal people and stuff.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
It's a game mechanic, yeah.
That makes sense as a game mechanic that you can like bring people back to life if you need to or whatever.
Yeah. It's a defib.
Yeah, there's a defib, and but like, you know what pushed first person shooting to the next level and no one gives credit for? Left 4 Dead. Like that game completely took first person shooting and turned it on its head. It has great game mechanics with weapons and stuff like that. You got to work on a team. You play an alternate team that doesn't even have guns. You don't even have guns. You're monsters, and you jump on people or run around people, and you have to set up booby traps.
Remember that.
You have to attract zombies. Like that is where we need to be going with first-person shooting, is a new, inventive ways of doing it. Running and gunning, we've been doing that for 15 years.
Since Doom, or before that, Wolfenstein.
Run and gun is bullshit. Like, it's not, but like I said, at the same time, let's not give fault for simple game mechanic.
Yeah.
Simple game mechanic, let's not give fault for. But it's like, there is no challenge. There is no, I pay more money, or I level up thing, or I spend more time, now I'm better than you. Dude, just go play Counter-Strike, and when you get your floor mopped with you, because you actually can't play the game, shut up.
Yeah, there's no, what do they have in Call of Duty? The perks? There's no perks.
No, it's skill or no skill.
Yeah.
It's good or not good.
Yeah.
That's it.
You don't have something to save you. There's no, you know.
It's either you did the right thing and you twitched the right way, or you ran the match or whatever because one shot and you were dead.
You anticipated better than
or you anticipated, but you knew the map, you played it well, all of that stuff that makes first-person shooting good.
Yeah.
Running and gunning has no interest to me. Okay, so I'm a tank that can like shoot tons of munitions through a thing. I'm an invincible warrior of invincibility.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I kill stuff more than you.
Kill streaks.
Now I hide.
Kill streaks.
Yeah, it's like...
You camp and you kill 10 guys in a row. You call
and then,
it a kill streak.
You can throw it.
You get 10 more kills in a row.
And then you can just shoot the thing from space.
Yeah.
like oh, now I have a helicopter because I camped for 6... No! None of that stuff. No leveling up. Like, that's not a good game mechanic. That is a crappy game mechanic. That is rewarding you for being bad at the game. Mm-hmm. And then every single person that plays this is, I can't wait to see the comments, because I will fight this till the day I die.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, you just don't know, I'm so good. I will wreck you. I will give you a mouse and a keyboard, and I will wreck you. We'll turn the perks off. We'll lower the armor down.
Play on
because
hardcore.
You can't shoot me better than I can shoot you.
Yeah.
And if you can,
great,
then you clearly won, and I'll shut my damn mouth.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find many people on the internet. I play on hardcore mode. I do all this stuff. You know what I get? A guy flying a freaking helicopter on the ground through the middle of the level. Killing everybody.
Yeah.
That's fun, because he's good helicopter pilot guy. I can do that too. That's not why I play the game. I play the game. So now I play Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I just went right, all full story, right back, like, I go back to Counter-Strike and Left 4 Dead. Because those are real first-person shooting games with good mechanics and balance.
Or we'll have a LAN party and play Unreal Tournament and get drunk and have a great time.
Yeah, Unreal Tournament, again, balanced.
Yeah.
A really well-balanced game. You win because you are good, or you had an advantage.
Yeah, you
You had more armor and or health or the rocket launcher and the guy had the sniper rifle and missed.
Yeah.
But it's simple.
Are you dodged at the right time?
Are you dodged at the right time? That's it.
That's a mechanic. It's a game mechanic.
Yeah.
It's not
I had
it's not
the
cheating.
flechette ammo that did a thing and blah 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 exploding rounds because I'm level 25.
Yeah.
No. You just played longer. You sucked longer and got rewarded for it. But seriously, because you can get the stuff. You can get the stuff by sucking. Mm-hmm. You just have to be willing to suck that long.
Hey, but you want to know what's even worse on consoles is that when you play online in Call of Duty, they all have auto aim on.
I know.
Auto aim.
Auto aim is bullshit.
So you got, on top of perks, you got auto aim. So in actuality, Call of Duty is a kiddie game.
Yeah. No,
you got 5 and 8-year-olds playing that game.
That's why I get so angry when people are like, oh, well, they don't make hardcore games, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, if you're a real hardcore gamer, you don't own a fucking console. And I'm sorry for the console people out there, the people who can't afford PCs, but if you really care about being on the best, you've built your own gaming rig. Mm-hmm. It has the top specs, like the one sitting over to my right, or the one sitting in your apartment.
Right.
And we have all the best games, and we run them at 1080p, at 60 to 120 frames a second.
Yeah. And you have Twitch control. There's no slowdown. There's no 30 frames.
Slowdown.
There's no 15 frames per second.
No. And there's no auto aim. There's no help. It's you running your rig the fastest you can run it, and the reason you win is because you had a better rig than the next guy. You literally spent the time learning the level and playing it better.
Yeah, and you aimed your mouse better than him.
You aimed your mouse better. That is what real gaming is.
Yeah.
That is where it becomes a tactician's game.
Yeah.
If you're using a computer to help you, you're cheating.
Yeah, exactly. Auto aim is
aimbot. It's
computer
bullshit.
assistance.
It's computer assistant aiming.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah, I've seen this though. You play Call of Duty and your gun will actually twitch on its own without you even moving.
Remember
right?
Remember when we used to disable the auto aim on a Bond because it'd be like rah?
Yeah.
So like his hand would go like rah.
That's why we call it the Penis 7 because it twitched up.
Yeah, it twitched up because you knew when the auto aim was on the target that you could hit him. and that's the thing. The other thing is that first-person shooting is not the definition of what a hardcore game is.
Ooh, yeah. You want to get really hardcore? That would be like StarCraft.
Yeah, like you want to get into serious actual game and game theory and depth and strategy and commitment. Yeah, it's StarCraft. Yeah. if you're not playing StarCraft, you're not a hardcore gamer. You're like
there's a lot of definition. Then I'm not one either.
Yeah,
so I'm not playing it.
No, in a lot of ways, because of our lifestyle, we
much.
have to be casual. We don't have that kind of time.
No.
So this whole hardcore gaming thing, this whole third-person shooting, graphics, console, has to go away, because somebody plays Call of Duty well, does not make them better than someone who plays Mario. They're just different people. You just got to put it down, because it doesn't really matter, because you being the baddest ass PlayStation 4 player that ever existed, that may win tournaments or not, will never beat a Korean in StarCraft.
Never. StarCraft 2.
And he will whip your ass at your PlayStation 4 game, and he's never played it before, because that's how good they are. I've seen it in real life.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this kid's game? You gotta use your hands? Like, bang, bang, bang.
I control things with my brain.
Yeah,
by myself.
It was a Back to the Future 2 reference. But
that's right.
You gotta use your hands.
Use your hands? Yeah, it's like a baby's toy.
It's like a baby's toy.
Yeah.
And then he'd wreck you.
Yeah, exactly. Poor Barney Fly. Poor guy.
Well, I mean, it all comes down to there's a lot of historism. There's a lot of people trying to.
Yeah, there are so many levels of things that need to change in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
That's one of them. But DLC's
got to go.
That's something that's got to go.
DLC's got to go. The way that
away.
the people are developing, but I guess I went really wide on it, and it's because I think personally, and this is my opinion, and this is what we really need to discuss. EA, Ubisoft, and Activision made this.
Those are the main
They
three.
they market it. They're like, you're not hardcore unless you do this thing, and blah, blah, blah. And they drew
You want to use
lines.
the full power of the Force? Pay the extra $50.
They drew lines in the sand. They told people that were even between those 3 developers. They were, this game is the best game, and if you don't have it, you're not good. It was all this marketing because they knew that gamers wanted to have an instinctive edge, and they're competitive, and they want to have the best stuff. But they leveraged it in a way to make money, so instead of it being about competition and purity of that, like playing a chess game against somebody, or playing poker against somebody, or a video game against somebody, and now it's turned into this, if you don't have this game on this console, you're not cool. That wasn't us doing this.
No.
That was their marketing team deciding that it was important.
Exactly.
That, no, the only way that... And so they drew this giant wedge between all of us feel the same way. We all want good games. Yep. And we want to stop paying for DLC. And maybe it'd be nice if we slowed the first-person shooting down a little bit. Because, fuck, man, there's a lot of those.
Every game?
Yeah, like maybe you want to make something else maybe once in a while that's not that. You know, maybe make an RTS game that's cool, or like, you know, RPG that's cool.
You know, and with Battlefront, I played the with the X-wing, the speeder, and TIE fighter. They don't control anywhere near as good as Rogue Squadron.
No.
If they would have made those control a lot better, I may have bought the game. You know, because I like Star Wars.
Well, and
I love Rogue
the control
Squadron.
on the ground,
but the control
for Rogue
terrible.
Squadron was better than you get on the control on the ground on most games these days.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was a little funky in like 1998.
No, yeah, 2003, 2001.
2003 was really that?
But
Wow.
Rebel Strike 2003, Rogue Squadron 2 was only in flying in 2001. But anyway, go ahead.
Either way, the ground was a little funky. They could have done a little better, but it still had the ground game in it. Like, you literally ran to your ship, and the flying was great. It's like...
Flying was the main thing, though.
So just have good flying in the game. Like, the flying in Battlefield 3 or whatever it is, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's like trying to control a multifaceted tank with all different kinds of controls. Doesn't make any sense.
Dude, I play flight sims. I know how a plane flies. Like, I've flown planes. Like, a plane doesn't work on a mouse access kind of thing. All right? Like, you make a plane turn.
Exactly.
You make a plane turn by giving it lift, by pulling up, by turning sideways.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's you got to roll it over, and then you got to pull the stick back, and then it goes in the direction you wish to turn. And if you turn the plane slightly, you bank slowly. But if you need like a hard bank, you literally turn the plane sideways and then pull up so that the lift guides it. Mm-hmm. You know, because in three-dimensional space or that kind of thing where there is no top, there is no bottom, it doesn't matter which way your plane is going, really. But the physics don't change. You still need to pull back on the stick to turn. Mm-hmm. You still need to push down on the stick to not turn. You know, to diving, depending on what plane you're on, doesn't matter. You can be totally sideways to the land and have the same amount of physics on you as being completely vertical.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And that game does the worst job at, like, doing any of that. You always orient to the ground. You it rolls over way too easy. It turns super sluggish. Like, there's no flaps. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
Everything about it's wrong.
Yeah, and on Battlefront, the new one, exactly that. It's terrible control for the ships. When you're on ground, it plays like Battlefield 4. It's a Battlefield game with Battlefront with Star Wars, paint on it. The game looks great graphically, but it's not enough where it counts. They need to make a game with one thing in mind, not all these multiple different things in mind.
Well, they're just constantly trying to sell to somebody who doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They're constantly like, and if we do this flashy thing and this flashy thing and do this flashy stuff, somebody will buy our crap.
Like we talked about it before, graphics are getting to the point where they look great.
They don't matter anymore.
They look great, though. I mean, of course, they look great.
They look great.
But
so eventually it's going to be real life, and it doesn't matter.
The game itself has to be good, though.
Yeah.
It has to be fun. I'd rather play Devil's Third.
We're literally at this point, again, we're hardware. Hardware and software are doing one of those great things, like in the original 2000s. It's doing one of those original 2000s. What a weird sentence. Back in the 2000s, when software and hardware kind of met up, started doing better video cards and was able to develop better software, but they met in the middle. And we got and then as it grew, we got into things like Crysis Engine
Yeah.
Where like you could get into that real depth and run it, and there was hardware there to support. Yeah, you had to be on the top of the edge.
All the physics were there. Yeah.
But it was all there. If you could afford it, it was all there.
Yeah.
2007. We're literally on that precipice again, where hardware is almost outperforming software in its ability, and software is having to catch up.
It is. Yeah.
Hardware is crushing right now.
Yeah.
And to where the point is like, dude, you can run. I could run games into the ground right now on my PC.
Yeah.
But my PC's not new.
Yeah.
And so we're in this really great place where graphics are going to very soon not matter. Not because they don't matter, but because everything
will be the same.
will be able to run it to the best of its ability. Which means consoles don't matter, because all of them will be able to develop the graphics to the best of their ability, which is so good that nobody cares. Like, it's okay, so flavor A, flavor B, flavor C. It's still the same. It's still perfect.
It's like when you saw Avatar for the first time in the theater. It looked great, right? You were blown away by it. But now, who cares? Exactly.
So, graphics have gotten to a point where they actually don't matter, because everything's going to look good from here on out. It's only going to be the ones that don't look good that we go, oh, that's the one that doesn't look good.
Oh, looks like crap. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're not looking at the ones that don't. We're looking at the ones that do. You know, and looking good over one over another is such a small line. Like, instead of what it used to be when it was Pixelation Station, and you could just like see, like, wow, that looks terrible. Yeah. Like, you don't get a lot of like, wow, that looks terrible anymore.
Now you're like, that looks a little bit like it could look maybe.
Yeah, then you could have paused it. Like, so you give it another 5 years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be perfect. Mm-hmm. They're gonna look so good. It's just like, eh. So then what do you have? So if it's not about graphics,
innovation in gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everything like it's always been. It's innovation in gameplay. It reminds me of there was a really great game on PS3 that was an 8-bit, 3D 8-bit game. It was, you could even make your own models with actual pixels on a 3D thing, and it was basically a Zelda clone.
Okay.
They did in an 8-bit world with a whole bunch of really cool high-ending processes.
Since they made it like that, the graphics didn't matter, right?
Graphics didn't matter. It was the innovation and amazing of the gameplay. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's so good. I have it. I can take it out of the drawer, but I just don't want to waste the time.
Never about it. But yeah, the games like that.
Games like that.
Or a brand new retro game like Shovel Knight, for example.
Yeah, Shovel Knight, Xin.
It looks like an 8-bit game, but it's great. Looks great.
Fantastically made game. Great gameplay. Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy is amazing. Like, that's what we need. We need more real development. That's why I'm so excited for, like, No Man's Sky. Totally indie built game. Looks great. Has its art style, does its thing. Totally new concept.
Yeah.
It is a first-person shooter. It is a first-person and aircraft shooter.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with being a first-person shooter or a first-person aircraft
Nothing to do with being in war somewhere.
Yeah.
In the military.
And literally, but that's what it is. I mean, you're POV. You have a gun. You shoot stuff.
Yeah.
You're in a plane. You have a thing. You have weapons. You shoot stuff.
Yeah, so that's where it has to go. Innovation with graphics. They can innovate with graphics in a way that influences gameplay. There's all kinds of stuff they could do.
Everything.
They're lazy.
Is gameplay, and they're lazy, and they're trying to print money.
Yeah.
And they think that put a gun in somebody's hand and give them a little bit of crappy blood instead of full gore and call it mature with a little couple F-bombs here and there.
Yeah.
It's so tame and it's so lame and it's so not even hardcore.
Yeah.
And so that's why I get personally offended. Because they're like, oh yeah, man, I'm so hardcore. I'm so hardcore. I play that Battlefield.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, you're not.
Yeah, I sniped from 5 miles away and got headshots.
Yeah.
And nobody saw me. That's not skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's line up your gun and waiting for your bullet to fall across the map.
Just play a game.
Yeah.
Enjoy the idea of playing a game. And sometimes playing a game is to win. But most of the time, playing a game is to enjoy yourself.
Have fun.
You know, the real winner, whether win or lose, is that you had fun, that you did a thing, that you accomplished a goal. It doesn't have to be, I beat that guy over there. It can be like, most of the time, when you're really playing a really great game, you're playing against yourself.
Yeah. exactly.
Most of the people that run StarCraft stuff say you're really not playing your opponent. You're playing yourself. You're playing your build order. You're playing.
Yeah,
you're
lost
playing
because
your
you
macro.
made a mistake. Yeah.
You're lost because you made a mistake. You're playing against yourself. Those are the games that get me excited. Playing against other people. And like when I go on Grand Theft Auto 5 and oh man, I'm bad. I'm so bad. I will troll a 14-year-old kid and talk to him about how his parents shouldn't let him have the game.
Yeah.
Because he's 14.
Exactly.
David's seen it. David's seen me just like
Yeah.
because what happens is you're driving your car. Driving your car through your thing, and I'm doing my Grand Theft. I'm not making a problem for anybody. I'm just on the online world.
But that 14-year-old little bastard.
14-year-old bastard comes up and snipes me in my face while he's camping on the top of a thing, or shoots me with a jet that he stole from the military base, or whatever dumb thing. Well, what he doesn't know is I'm really good at the game, and guess what? I have a lot of money, so I can put like a couple $100 into Grand Theft Auto a month if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have all the jets and helicopters. So I then ruin that guy's life till he rage quits.
You go blow him away. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how I deal with it.
Yeah.
The fact that guy even exists is because EA's a dick.
Rockstar or whatever.
No,
whoever.
just I'm saying like the concept of
That
like
concept.
the EA that they developed a gamer that believes in these things and this kind of competition,
Control.
and this control and this dickishness is why I have to play a game where I'm not doing anything that is bothering anybody except trying to play the game. And somebody's got to shoot me in the head. No, I'm not saying it's a game mechanic. He's totally allowed to shoot me in the head. What doesn't realize is that I will spend the rest of my day ruining his life.
Yeah.
Because it does tell you who killed you, and you can just mark them on your map. A lot of people don't know that. So you like mark them on your map. You're like, where's he spawned to? Okay, you're mine now.
Can you set bombs for him there too?
Oh,
Blow
dude,
him up?
all sorts of noise.
Yeah.
What I do is I generally get my Harrier.
Yeah.
And then just follow him around hovering
Uh-huh.
with my Gatling gun and my missiles, and just like. Because the jets fly really good in Grand Theft
Then
Auto
he has
5.
enough, and he
Usually
quits.
about like the 70th kill, they like say something dumb over the mic and run away.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 30 and 70. You can kill a guy pretty hard.
I'm sure he whines and be like, "Stop killing me, please."
No, that
leave me
doesn't
alone."
happen right away. The funny thing is they're always like, you know, like you're a dick or blah blah blah, or they flip you off, or they think that they can win. They think that they're good.
Yeah.
Like they think that but what they didn't realize is that I have more resources than them, and I've played the game, and I'm not fucking 14. I'm 35, and I've been playing games
for 30
for a
years.
long time.
A long time, yeah.
And I know how first-person shooters work, and to work my advantages and run my weapons correctly, and like, so yeah, they're really not gonna win. and it takes them a while to realize that I'm going to own them, because yeah, they'll get a kill in.
Yeah.
Haha, I killed you. Yeah, I just killed you 5 times. Haha, I killed you. Oh, yeah, I just killed you 25 times.
Yeah, I'll come back. You know, you'll never be rid of me until you leave the game.
Yeah, you'll never be ready until you leave the game. And so it takes 30 to 40 kills in Grand Theft Auto to prove your point.
But you know what, though? That's good that you do that, because then that will stop him next time.
Oh, yeah.
from
No, they
doing
think
that.
about it next time.
Just play the damn game. Have fun. Don't ruin someone else's experience.
I actually have a friend online that killed him. I killed him like 75 times. We're friends now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, it usually happens.
Because he talked to you about it after.
Yeah, they talked about it. I'm like, dude, I just don't be a dick.
Why do you hurt me?
Because you're being a dick. Don't be a dick. Play the game. You know, the game's about community, and if you play the missions together and you don't fucking ruin people's good time and we be a community, we can all have fun. I'm not saying don't shoot me in the head once.
Yeah.
Just don't be a sniping little dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you shoot the guy and be like, sorry, that was a mistake. I was trying to get the other guy.
Well, even
That's something
then,
different.
just like I felt like killing you.
Yeah.
Just do it once.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and blow me up for a half an hour. I'm gonna get bitter, and you're gonna ruin it for everybody. And you know, now I'm gonna have to go get my jet. You know, like, and so no, but we play missions together. He's like, wow, you're really good, man. Can I be on your team? Like, yeah, totally. You can be on my team.
Are you pro?
It's always the 14-year-old kid that asks you, "Are you pro, man?"
Are you pro?
14-year-old kids can't fathom the ability for someone to actually be better than them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense, though. They play a lot longer than, you know, because we're working.
They play a lot longer at that game. But they have not played
in
a
life.
lot longer. You know what I mean?
Anyway, I think we'll wrap it up. I want to say thank you very much, guys, for all the subscribers and all the wonderful comments you've left and encouragement. I really appreciate all the support you guys have had for this channel, and look for more great stuff from us soon. You know, we're very busy. We try to get together and do a podcast. We'll keep it going, but it may be a couple weeks. Who knows? But we'll try to do another one soon. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Any last words, Joe?
Yeah, I just can't express enough how honored and happy we are that you guys are involved in this journey with us. And at the same time, let's all just be a better gamer. Let's all just hang out and build a community and try to make this our place for better games now, not later.
Exactly. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Good night.